Creating a powerful or an impactful scene is a difficult task even the greatest authors might struggle with. It is due to a fact that there needs to be a number of different requirements met before making something that is supposed to touch and connect with the viewers. Moments that are this powerful need to be executed in the right moment, on the right spot and in the right way. A whole lot of build-up is also essential, because the time we spend with the fictional characters is limited. During this time, it is important that we somehow connect or sympathize with them in order to create moments that are unforgettable and memorable. And Demon Slayer just created one such moment at the end of its 3rd season. So if you haven't watched the 3rd season and you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you pause the video and finish the latest season or check out some of my other videos. So, if you haven't heard of Demon Slayer up until now and you live in a cave, it is a story by Koyoharu Gotoge, which follows the life of a Demon Slayer Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko, who got turned into a demon. It sold over 150 million copies worldwide and it became one of the most popular anime shows of all time. And so, the 3rd season brings us to the Swordsmith Village, but this time they are without Zenitsu and Inosuke, but instead we get introduced to 2 new Hashira. The big-titted waifu and love Hashira Mitsuri Kanoroji and the cool emo kid and the missed Hashira Muichiro Tokito. Oh, and this guy is here as well. We also got to meet all the remaining upper moons. After Gyutaro's death, all the others were called upon and 2 of them were given a new task of attacking the Swordsmith Village. Nothing really that dramatic happens during the first 2 episodes. Mitsuri is adorable and hangs out with Nezuko, Muichiro casually destroys a training doll that was meant to be extremely powerful, and then Tanjiro trains with it for a few days with the help of this boy Kotetsu. Oh, and they find an old sword inside of the doll. Finally, in the middle of the 3rd season, the 2 upper moons suddenly appear. And when I say suddenly, I mean it. The 4th upper moon literally politely opens a door and starts begging for money? Mr. Jackson probably doesn't pay well enough. His demons must think he don't care about us. Luckily, the emotionless kid clearly hates poor people and kills him. But the demon only divides into 2 separate demons and with a single swing sends Muichiro flying somewhere into the forest. The fight has begun, though it wasn't the best start. It just kind of started out of nowhere, the demon suddenly appears and all of a sudden you're in the middle of a heated battle. It felt a bit rushed with not enough build-up ahead of the fight. Finally, after Muichiro landed in the forest, he tries to get back to Tanjiro, but he's forced to stop to help Kotetsu. Meanwhile, Genya came to help Tanjiro, but they only find out that the demon only divides further into more demons after beheading. Shortly after, a new foe appears. The 5th upper moon reveals himself after he had already killed a bunch of swordsmiths from the village. We also learn that he can teleport from one ways to other, and that's kinda boring. He catches Muichiro off guard and traps him in the same jutsu Zabuza used to trap Kakashi. Oh, and guess what? They are all about to die, just like Naruto and his friends. Then Kotetsu rescues Muichiro, just like Naruto rescued Kakashi. Muichiro then grows a mark on his face and their clash can continue. From the start, Tokito dominates Gyoko to the point of making fun of him. Demon then shows his true and most powerful form, hoping he would shake Tokito. But he couldn't care less. My man knew he just had to. Muichiro then starts taking it seriously and after hiding in his mist, he beheads Gyoko smoothly. Like a criminal. Anyways, this fight didn't feel like an upper moon fight and more like a showcase of power of the mark that appeared on Muichiro's face. Which is, if you haven't noticed, the same mark Tanjiro has. Once the mark appeared, Muichiro, who was already quite strong, became even stronger to the point where Gyoko wasn't able to inflict any damage. That also hinted at how powerful Muichiro is. From the previous fights we've seen, it was clear that it is not a walk in the park to fight the upper moons. Rengoku was keeping up with the 3rd upper moon Akaza, but never inflicted any significant damage and Akaza pretty much played with him. Then we had Tengen versus the 6th upper moon Gyutaro and Daki. Tengen and Tanjiro just barely managed to win, but afterwards Tengen lost an arm, an eye, and was about to die if Nezuko hadn't saved him. This would put Muichiro way above Tengen, since from the point of breaking free from the water prison, Muichiro didn't even break a sweat. Also, he got imprisoned just because Gyoko surprised him. Gyoko was the 5th upper moon, unlike Gyutaro who was only the 6th. Of course, this was probably due to the mark's effects, but still puts Muichiro on a higher spot than Tengen and maybe even Rengoku. Tengen even stated that Muichiro is more talented than him. On the other hand, Muzan also stated that Gyutara's only weakness is Daki, and if it wasn't for her, Gyutara would be ranked higher amongst the upper moons. He definitely wouldn't surpass Akaza, but would be above this guy for sure. Of course, we cannot forget about the other battle, because while Gyoko was taken care of, Hantengu was still a lot of trouble. Hantengu split his personality into 4 different demons, who were quite strong, but after Tanjiro used his mark, he easily cut 3 of them down in a single move. After they managed to cut off every head of those 4 demons, they still didn't die and they figured out that Hantengu must be hiding his main body. And that's when those 4 demons merged into one, creating the 5th one, Zohakuten. Zohakuten was the strongest of them all and was easily overpowering Tanjiro, Nezuko and Genya until Mitsuri came to join the fight. She then took on the 4th upper moon by herself while all the others went after the main body. Mitsuri then also awakened the same mark as Muichiro, but all she could do was to only hold Zohakuten back. The others meanwhile managed to behead the main body, but there was a new enemy on the horizon. Literally. The sun is rising, which normally means that demons have to retreat and all will be good, but Nezuko is still outside of her box and starts burning. And that's not it. Tanjiro tries covering her with his body, but soon they discover that they didn't behead the main body and Hantengu is still alive, chasing after villagers. Tanjiro then has to make a hard decision to either save the villagers but sacrifice Nezuko, or save Nezuko but sacrifice the villagers. As he could not decide, Nezuko kicks him into the air and signals Tanjiro to save the villagers. Tanjiro manages to save all of them and finally behead the main body of the 4th upper moon, but knows what price he had to pay in order to do that. Or so he thought, because as he was grieving for Nezuko, she suddenly appeared in front of him, standing in the sun. A demon that is able to stand in the sunlight has appeared for the first time in history of Demon Slayer. The moment Tanjiro realized what he was looking at, he burst into tears. This is the moment I meant when I said that the Demon Slayer just made a special and unforgettable scene. I had to watch it multiple times to fully enjoy and comprehend what actually happened. This whole sequence is what made the otherwise basic 3rd season special. Everything was perfect to the absolute detail. The setting, place, timing in the story, the music, animation, colors and even the sunlight. The characters already matured enough to carry such an emotional scene. They have been through so much together and we have experienced it with them, especially Nezuko. We first saw her as a basic demon that could shrink herself, then as a demon with her own blood demon art. From the point she grew tits and could stand up to an upper moon demon and even beating it. All the way to the moment she surpassed even the demon lord himself and she can now practice moonwalking during the day. Moments like these are very special in any show or anime out there because they are so hard to execute correctly. This scene gave me goosebumps every time I rewatched it. It looks clean, the animation is gorgeous as the camera spins around the entire group showing us every detail, while a beautiful soundtrack accompanies us, only enhancing our feelings. To the point it slowly comes to a halt and allows Nezuko to let out her first words since becoming a demon. At first it felt like the author just didn't have the balls to kill such a lovable character like Nezuko. But later on in the final episode, they show Muzan as he learns about the first demon that conquered the sun. He then shifts his goal of acquiring the blue spider lily to Nezuko herself, hoping that after he absorbs her, he would become the unstoppable monster he had always wished to be. Muzan now has to stop the search for the perfect kind of kush and start his business in human trafficking. Demon Slayer brings something special with every new piece they release, and this moment is what made this one so special to me and a lot of other viewers. Hey, it has been a while. Sorry it took me so long to make another video, but you know how it is. School, I went to Japan in the meantime, I had almost finished my bachelor's degree, but the real reason it took me so long is that I am one lazy motherfucker. I hope you enjoyed this video even though it has already been 6 months since Demon Slayer came out. I promise the next video won't take this long as I'm already working on it. In the meantime, watch my last video or any other videos on my channel. I also occasionally stream on Twitch, so go and give me a follow if you'd like. And of course, leave a like, subscribe and comment what is your favorite anime. Once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.